Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Chasing the Art of Creativity. I am your host, your cheerleader, and the very occasional bad joke teller, Luca. Here on the podcast, we celebrate diversity, inclusion, creativity, and of course, a whole lot of heart. Today, we've got the incredible, the magnificent Erika White.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on today. How have you been?
Good. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Are you enjoying the summer sun at the moment? Or are you staying indoors most of the time?
I mean, it's been nice. Haven't been able to work the past few weeks, so we've been able to get out and get a bit more sun, but definitely enjoying the sun. Not enjoying the big changes in weather though.
Ooh, it's been weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't mind a storm. I don't mind an Arvo storm. It's pretty good. I think it's more just because you go to the beach in the day. Are you a beach person?
I am a beach person, but I don't hate swimming, but I am a little bit scared of the ocean.
Is it? What is it about the ocean? The waves, the sharks, the jellyfish, the octopus? Because we live in Australia.
Yeah.
Dangerous stuff.
Very dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Probably the waves and I'm just, if there's anything there that touches me, I'm like, oh my God, it's a shark.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Like seaweed. It's just like, oh, great white.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
But I love sharks.
They are cute.
Sharks, but they are cute. I want to go swimming with whale sharks one day.
Yeah.
Maybe not a great white. I don't think I'm there yet.
Yeah, no.
Not good stuff,
No.
but yeah. Anyway, that's the beach. That's what Australia's all about. But today, we're here to talk about you and your creative journey. So tell us a bit about yourself. What is something you do and how did you get into it?
So there's really only two things I do. Cheerleading and the gym, and it just repeats itself on a cycle every single day. But I love it. Originally, I grew up as a dancer. Have pretty much done every type of dance under the sun, like jazz, hip hop, bit of Irish dancing as well.
Irish dancing, no way! Like the river dancing, like the
yeah,
the
literally,
tap dance. Oh,
literally
that's so
river
cool.
dancing.
Oh, it's the sickest thing ever.
It's so cool. Honestly, loved the costumes, and then the more I got into it, I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. Like this is quite cool.
What were the types of costumes you'd wear?
So I don't think they wear them too much in river dance, but when you compete for Irish dancing, you get these massive, big dresses. They're really heavy, and they're covered in Swarovski crystals, absolutely head to toe, very bright colours, very similar to a cheerleading uniform almost. Maybe there was a little bit of crossover in that transition there, but expensive.
It would be.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Oh my
Very
God.
expensive.
Yeah. But awesome though. Great experience.
Yeah, really cool.
Was it something, so dancing, when you were younger, take you back to when you were younger. I always start this. We're going back time machine in our little theoretical time machine to when you were a kid. What drew you the most into what you do now? Was there a specific role model or was there a specific thing in your life that led you down that path? Or was it just a natural progression as you grew older?
I think it was just a natural progression as I grew older. My mum put me into dance when I was 2, and then I continued that. I originally grew up in Scotland, so that was...
in Scotland?
Yeah.
Wow, whereabouts in Scotland?
West Coast. So it's a really small town called Ardrossan. Not many people know of it. Yeah.
No.
It's quite small, but lovely. We have beaches there, but they're pebble beaches, and you don't really see many people swim.
It's not Manly or Bondi.
It's not Manly. It's not Bondi.
So, did you have the accent growing up?
I did, and then moved over here when I was 10, and then very quickly lost it. I think because no one could understand me. So when I first moved over. And I appreciate the Scottish accent so much now. I look back
accent. Yeah, I love
and
it.
I'm like, damn, I wish I still had mine. But when I came over, no one understood me. Coming into a primary school and everyone around you talks the same way. They've all got the same slang. And then I was completely different slang, different accent. So I think it just, I grew out of it.
I couldn't even imagine you with a Scottish accent because you've got such a pronounced Australian accent.
Yeah, hey.
Could you give us a little taste of what the Scottish accent is?
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone would love to hear that.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say. I do this, sometimes it's funny when I go out with my friends, we love to just mess around, and one of the things we'll do is just go, okay, well, we're all going to have a UK accent and just pretend.
We all do that.
Yeah.
I've done that so many times. I love putting on an accent.
It's so funny.
Greatest thing ever.
Oh, what would I say?
I'd say top 3 accents to me, it's got to be the South African. I love the South African.
Yeah, very cool
the
accent.
Scottish is the only one that there's only one word that I love saying.
Which word?
Thousand.
That was really good.
If it was in miles, and that's because of the Proclaimers.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
I would walk 500
100
miles and I would walk 500 more.
more.
Great song.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love the Scottish accent because my dad lived in Edinburgh for about a year and
Amazing.
a half. So I've been to Edinburgh
Yeah.
once. Loved it. I didn't stay for very long because
Yeah.
there was the flight. I was going to Amsterdam the next day, and the flight left very early. So I
Yeah.
got one night in Edinburgh. It's beautiful,
It's
cobblestone
stunning.
streets, the castles, like
Yeah.
very neo-traditional.
Yes.
Incredible. So
Absolutely.
it's a little bit different from where you were growing up to like the big
Yeah.
sort of cities.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah.
So we were like an hour maybe from Glasgow,
Oh, okay.
but very small. Like where our town was, you catch the ferry over to Arran. So not many people come through there unless they've got a reason. But beautiful nonetheless. Like we went back last year to see some family, and
Brilliant.
I love being over there. It's just such a like reset.
I would
Very
be.
relaxing.
Yeah. Of course it is. I think it's more than a holiday because there's such nostalgia tied into it, and you've got so
Yeah.
many good memories. And going back, it almost unlocks those types of memories, and you're transported
Yes.
back to your childhood, and
Yeah.
that's incredible. So you said you started dance very young, and that
Yeah.
would have been in Scotland. So when you came to Australia, did you want to keep pursuing the dance sort of path?
Yeah. So I tried to when I was over here, but I found, I guess, like with anything moving countries, it's always very different. And I think I was trying to tackle like moving to a new school, making new friends, etc.
Yeah.
And so tried to get into dance. I did it over here at a company called Action for maybe 2 or 3 years.
Sorry about that, folks. Little intermission there. We had a little animal in here who was trying to get out. So there you go. Sorry, continue, please.
No,
yes,
that's
dance
okay.
line.
So yeah, started at Action when I moved over here, and then stopped dancing for a little bit as often. And then it was when I moved to high school that the high school I was at had a cheerleading team. And I was like, oh, cool, fun. Like thought that was an American thing.
Yeah.
Let's give it a go. So at that time I was doing Irish dancing. So I kind of stopped from doing like your classic ballet, jazz, all of that. And I'd moved more towards Irish dancing. And I think that was just because of like proximity. So grew up in the North Shore in Wahroonga, and just at the little like community centre down the
Yeah.
road, there was
Amazing.
an Irish dancing teacher.
How beautiful is Wahroonga, by the way?
I love Wahroonga.
Like going through, like it always reminds me of just that aesthetic autumn vibe because you've got the low hanging trees with all
Yeah.
the leaves, and it's
Yeah.
so beautiful. If there's anywhere I would live, like if top 5 places
Yeah.
in Sydney to live, Wahroonga would actually be probably like up in the top 3.
Up there, yeah.
I love it.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful,
It's
yeah.
so stunning.
Yeah. So you had there was a little dance community there.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
So there was
Wow.
just a few of us, which was great. Made some really good friends there. And so was doing the Irish dancing, was doing the cheerleading. And then I think what happened was the high school team that I was cheering for, they needed someone. So the coach that ran that also worked at like a proper gym. So I guess how you've got like for football or footy, you've got like your clubs.
Yeah.
So
of
similar
course.
with cheer, there's a lot of clubs around each area, and he needed another flyer. So that's a position that I am. Get tossed up in the air, lots of good fun.
Oh my God.
All of that.
Oh my God. So cheerleading. I guess a lot of people would assume that it is a naturally American thing. So
Yeah.
when you started out, did you think that, were you like, it's not sort of a traditionally Australian sport, but were you so immersed in it that it just didn't cross your mind? You weren't thinking,
Yeah.
oh, I shouldn't do this because it's not tied into our culture here, but it would have been so immersive for you. And that's the whole point of like when we chase the art of creativity.
Yeah, hey.
So to speak. It's something that draws you. So did you want to be a flyer straight away? Did you see something being tossed up and you were like, that's the coolest thing ever. I want to do that.
Absolutely. I mean, when I joined that team in the high school, I wasn't originally doing all that much. So there was like other flyers who I guess had been there for longer, because obviously years 7 and 12, there was a lot of us. And I was like looking, I was like, oh my God, that's what I want to do. Like that just seems so fun. I'm so intrigued. It just looks like such a skillful, like it's my next challenge.
yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
Yes.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's originally how I got into it. And
Fantastic.
then ever since then, I've just been like wanting to once you get more immersed, it's like you are opened up to so much more around you, and you realize, oh my God, I thought this was the limit, but actually like the limit's all the way up here.
It's incredible how much you want to like push yourself. Like there was a time when I was so adamant that I just wanted to be like this little safe boy. I didn't want to like do anything that would have put me in a very uncomfortable position. And I ended up doing stunt work, and I was like, getting hit by cars, and then I did
sign me up.
I did gymnastics. I was doing double backflips on trampoline, and like maybe it was to get a bit of that ADHD energy out. Maybe I was like, I need something to like get out of it. So I just took the leap, so to speak. Very relevant, but I took the leap and I decided, I want to do like this cool stuff, and it's incredible as well, because I never thought about cheerleading as like an Australian thing until I saw some of the competitions, and I've seen some of the talents. Like I know a few people that actually did cheerleading. Yeah. It is incredible. And there's a massive centre up. You probably know it's in the Gold Coast. Yeah. Yeah. And people compete there. And
that's where we were last year. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So December last year.
Tell me a bit about that. How did that go?
It's a crazy, crazy atmosphere. Like, it was because I have been doing cheerleading for, I think this is I know it's my 10th year, which is why this year is so big for me, so big in, I guess, opportunities, like working towards the World Championships in April with my team, which has been like a dream of mine since 16. And I don't know if you've ever like done any kind of like manifestation or anything, but I remember being
my life.
Literally,
my life is a manifestation.
Literally like 15, 16, and I'm writing in my journal, I'm going to go to the World Championships. I'm going to go to the World Championships.
Yes.
And then we made it. But
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy that you had a goal, you had a dream in mind, and you were like, instead of, because a lot of people would, they battle with themselves about, it's the self-appreciation and self-deprivation. You're like, oh, I can't do this because it's so long, and you can't climb Mount Everest in a day. Like you have to believe. And you believed, and now you're going to the World Championships. Where are they held?
So it's in Florida.
Get out of here.
I know.
Is this like Days from Daytona type stuff? Like
literally very, very
we
similar.
Are Days from Daytona, people.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I've never actually seen it, but I know of it.
It's all I think about. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Free in your brain. It's like we are literally Days from Daytona.
We are Days. Let's go.
Have you been to Florida before?
I haven't. So
are you psyched?
I am so excited.
Have you got like a little itinerary of where you're gonna go? Like you got to go to Disney World.
Well, we do go to, I keep saying this, I keep telling people, because we get to stay, and I pretty sure I'm right. Like half the stuff that goes in my head that my coaches say at cheerleading, I feel like sometimes goes in one ear, out the other. I'm so like hyper fixated.
Locked in. As I say, locked in.
Locked in. But pretty sure we stay in Disneyland or Disney World, whatever it's called. Yeah. But it's very cool. We pretty much bunked up. The whole team stays together, and we get bunked up with our roomies, and each like bedroom in the place we're staying is like a different Disney theme. So you got like your princesses.
Shut up. No.
Yeah. I'm manifesting the princess room.
Do you have which princess is your favorite?
Oh.
I'm Jasmine Stan. I fucking love Aladdin.
Yeah, Aladdin's
like one of my
good.
favorite movies growing up. I've always said like growing up, I'm still hyper fixated on like Disney, Pixar.
Yeah.
I love it. Even though I'm like 26 years old, I still love those movies. I watched Coco the other day and I cried like a baby.
Oh my God.
It's one of the saddest movies ever. It's beautiful.
It's so nice. I do love Disney.
Yeah. So is there like a particular roommate that you've been assigned to, or is there someone you're like hoping to be assigned because you're like besties? Like,
so we're not sure. We're not sure yet. We don't know our roomies. They'll change because we do stay in a few places because the trip is 3 weeks long. And then it's a lot of training. Obviously, when we get there, we do like a practice competition at one of the comps the week before. And then it'll just be a lot of like driving to different really amazing gyms in America to train. And
like the real high end stuff. Like this is America. This is the pinnacle. This is where you go to compete.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to come back with like a suitcase full of merch from those gyms.
Absolutely. Like mementos, honestly. Like,
yeah.
Bring a Polaroid or something. Go over there. Just take snaps of it. I mean, I love Polaroids.
Yeah.
As you can see from the wall. Like
I love it.
I know. If I was going to America, I've always said like, if there's 3 places I'm going to in America, it's definitely Seattle, New York, and Florida.
Amazing.
I'm very jealous, but maybe one day if I ever.
Maybe I'll vlog it. You never know.
Just vlog it. Yeah, I can live vicariously through your travels. But no, that sounds incredible. So you're competing. So you're training for 3 weeks, and then is it across one day or is it multiple days?
So we'll train for 2 weeks. We actually get a week of like free time after the competition.
Bonding.
So we're all going to Mexico.
Fuck, no way.
Which will be sick.
Oh, whereabouts in Mexico?
Oh, again,
Guadalajara,
I'm like in the group chat, but everyone else is like, and I'm like, that sounds great. Like, count me in.
Yeah, like doesn't matter where we go. It's
oh my
the
God.
journey, not the destination.
We're staying. Oh my, this is so bad. We are staying at. All I know is it's an all-inclusive resort,
yeah.
and it's in Mexico.
It's a resort. You know,
and
you don't
I'll
have to
be
know
there.
the specifics of it. Yeah, you'll just be living your best life.
I'll be living my best
You're
life.
having a great time. Be
Yeah.
sunbaking in the Mexican sun, like
Exactly. Hopefully, reliving a top 5 placing is the goal.
absolutely. Look, I have faith. I haven't seen much of your stuff yet, but from what I'm hearing and from that confidence, I think top 5 is an easy prospect.
Yeah.
There. So, and you've been working incredibly hard. Like the years that you've put in, you deserve it.
Yeah.
Everyone deserves it. I love seeing hard work rewarded more than anything in
Absolutely.
the world because people have gone through absolute hell. Like, here's a funny story to get off track.
Yeah.
So there's a musician. She's an artist.
Yeah.
Quite underground. She isn't exactly known. Her name's Allardyce. And she came up with a song last year called "Keep My Peace."
Yeah.
and it's not a really well-known song. But I really resonated with it, and I sent her because it was in my top 10 Spotify Wrapped.
Oh my God,
I was
amazing.
like, that's insane. So I sent her a message on Instagram. I was like, hey, you're probably not going to read this, but your song "Keep My Peace" changed my fucking life this year. Like I had such a great time listening to it, and she responded with this insane message. She's like,
Oh my
you don't
gosh.
understand how much that means to me because I put there was so much stress and energy that was put into that music video and the
Yeah.
song itself. It means so much to me. And she was so grateful.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And that's exactly, and it's like people deserve to be rewarded for stuff. And it's what I do on the podcast. I bring people in that deserve they deserve that recognition because they work so fucking hard for it. And,
I feel like it's so nice that you reached out because even just like another random story from my end, I post like cheerleading stuff on my story all the time. And it's kind of just like, oh, I really like this. Like, make a cool video out of all the stuff we've done. But I'm like,
of course.
everyone's probably just going to go, next story.
No chance.
And one of my girlfriends from a few years ago, I haven't talked to her in ages, but she was like, oh my God, I love it when you post this stuff. Like I'm literally like living through you. I look forward to when you do it. And I was like, that's such a sweet message. And it's just like those little like ones of appreciation or, hey, like I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
That you're like, oh, like, thank
Honestly,
you.
a compliment can go so far. You never actually understand either like smiling at someone on the street can make their day. If you like, I live for that stuff. I live to give compliments, and of course, like I love getting compliments as well.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult as well because you're so like caught up in your mind. You post something on Instagram, and you just think, oh no, like people aren't really going to appreciate that.
It's
And
like that fear.
I know, and I was really nervous the other day because I interviewed Lara Jean Marshall, who was on the Saddle Club. She's one of my one of my idols growing up. I was like shocked, and I did the whole podcast and everything, and just I was so nervous for it, and I was so nervous to sort of like upload it, and then I'm having people come across being like, "That's insane!" Like, it's great that you managed to get a hold of her and talk to her, and it's why I want to do the whole podcasting thing. It's why I love everyone out there. It's why I love this whole community, and I've been wanting to do it for a long time. So I saw your stuff and I was so impressed.
Thank you.
Because I always say there is not a single career, there's not a single passion that isn't allowed on this podcast. We are so accepting of everyone, and to do something so incredible, like it sort of sums up what creativity is all about.
Yeah, hey, I just think it's so unique, and it's so, I guess it's exactly what we were saying before. It's such an American thing that if I said, cheerleader to half of Australia, they're going to imagine me with like a pair of pom-poms.
Yeah, and saying like varsity all the time, It's like,
Yeah.
we got a varsity cheerleading meet, I'm
Yeah.
seeing Daniel like after the big football game. Like it's like that sort of stuff.
Or the biggest question I get asked, like people are like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm a cheerleader. And they're like, oh, cool. For what team? And I'm like, for
like the NFL,
myself.
yeah, like Detroit, right? I was like Kansas City, like no, for me.
No, for
I do it
me.
because I love it.
Yeah.
Incredible. Wow. No, that it sounds like you have got such a big 2025 coming up. So
Hopefully.
wishing you all the best.
Thank you.
Now, that's the cheerleading aspect.
Yes.
You're also very much into fitness and the gym. Now, when did that start for you?
So, it would have started around about the same time that I started getting into cheerleading and dancing, and like when we moved over to Australia, because my mum she's so smart. My mum and my stepdad both so smart, but not the most, they're not really, really into sports themselves. They love to watch it, but they didn't really grow up doing much sport. My stepdad did play a bit of soccer or football.
Love that. I like that. Football. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not many people would say that. I appreciate that. I'm a big football fan myself. So there you go. Yeah.
Do you know any of the Scottish teams?
I do. I know Aberdeen. I know Hearts. Obviously Celtic Rangers.
Yeah,
Always
Celtic
wanted to go to an
Rangers.
Old Firm derby.
Biggest rivalry.
Well, I'm a City fan, Man City.
Yeah.
Been a Man City fan since I was maybe 3 or 4 years old. So
Yeah.
love football.
Love that.
Just love sport in general.
Yeah,
but
hey.
Yeah. You a football fan?
A little bit. I'm a football fan when it comes to Scottish teams, because the Celtic rivalry with Rangers is so
Coolest thing ever.
so like deep within our family. Cause
are your family Rangers or Celtic?
well, there's where it gets interesting.
Oh, no, don't tell
half
me it's
and
divided.
half.
Oh,
It is divided.
No. Oh, can you imagine like a day sitting down and watching the Old Firm? Like, ooh, that's nasty.
I mean, we've had instances in our house when my grandparents have come over to visit, and my stepdad goes for Rangers. My sister, she's a little bit undecided, so she likes to go for the winning team.
Don't we all sometimes? Yeah.
Whereas my grandpa and me, we're both Celtic fans. So the room, if there's ever a Celtic Rangers game playing and we're all in the same city, it is half of us on one side of the room, the other half on the other. It's very split.
Real. It's real.
And like there is some digs that there's some,
I actually really like Celtic because it's because there's a little bit of bias there, because a few years ago they were managed by a little old man named Ange Postecoglou. Don't know if you know who Ange Postecoglou is? Have you heard of him?
I've heard of the name.
So he was the manager of Celtic. He's Australian.
Oh.
He's Greek as well. And I was like, wow, I love that. I'm Greek. I'm Australian.
Yeah, you said. I remember you said you were Greek on one of your podcasts.
There you go. Good noticing. Good little eye for detail there.
Yeah.
So, and he manages Tottenham Hotspur now.
Yeah.
And he's an icon. Obviously, they're not doing so well at the moment, but I love Big Ange, and he was the Celtic manager for a bit. So I was like, I like Celtic. I wasn't like bandwagoning Celtic, but I was like, if I was watching the Old Firm, I'd be like, come on.
Let's go.
Massive. I love that. No, so sorry, completely sidetracked.
No.
Yeah, so your family, obviously, very smart people, but
very smart.
They love the idea of sport. They're not sporty themselves, but they love watching it. Same with my family. They're very much the same.
Yeah. But when we moved over here, so my dad lived over here, but I didn't have much interaction with him when we were in Scotland, but really got to know him when we moved over, and he's massive into everything fitness. So I used to hang out with him, and it'd be like, I mean, I don't really know what I kind of assume what other families do, sit down, watch TV, go for a walk, I feel like everyone has their own little thing. But for my dad, it would be like, come on, we're going to go do yoga. I was like, okay,
sick.
like, cool.
That's a bonding experience right there. Very spiritual.
Yeah.
Massive.
So that was really cool. And then he really, really, really encouraged me to kind of pursue the cheerleading and pursue the weightlifting and everything. So I'd say he was one of the first people to kind of introduce me to weightlifting. And then I got my own PT, and she taught me a lot, which was great. And she was really good friends with my mom and her friends as well. So there was a nice connection there as well of the group of ladies that I kind of met through her. And then started in my own journey, ended up getting my Cert 3 and 4, spend so much time in the gym.
Wow.
And never looked back.
It's the coolest thing ever. Honestly, I up until maybe last year, I never appreciated the gym.
Yeah.
I never appreciated I would go there and it would be a chore. And now there's something about waking up early and just getting your stuff on, drinking your pre-workout drink, going there, and I could spend 2.5 hours in the gym easily. And a lot of people, they're like, you're fucking crazy. I tell them, the other day I was like, I went to the gym for 2 hours.
Yeah.
It was a Sunday, and they were like, are you serious? I went, yeah. And they're like, why? I'm like, because I just love it.
Yeah.
I love the atmosphere. It's pushing yourself. I don't know if I'm a masochist or something, but I love putting my body in pain. I love getting to failure.
Makes you feel good.
It's incredible. So when you first started out, was there a particular goal you were looking towards, or were you just taking it day by day, seeing a little bit of progress and, working with your PT to sort of ensure that your goals were being met? Something like that?
I guess day by day, I think first off, it really started as, how can I improve as an athlete? And obviously, I feel like when we're growing up, everybody wants to look a certain way, or you kind of idolize people with certain body types, and that's different for everyone. So, but I think that was definitely the second priority for me. I think it was more so like, hey, how can I get stronger so I can do this? How can I improve my flexibility more? And then as I got more introduced to the gym and got more comfortable with what I was doing, then I think my focus went towards more of a, hey, I really, really enjoy this, but how can I challenge myself more in this? Like, I love cheerleading and I love the fact that it's a team sport, but what can I do individually that
on a personal level
that I can push myself in? And then I'd seen a few people who were bodybuilders who'd done competitions, and I was like, you know what, that's what I want to do. Like, I love everything about going to the gym. I love eating clean. I love that idea of just always improving yourself, and it's like you versus you.
It feels so rewarding as well. Like, there's a lot of the time when I want to eat like shit. Like, I really just...
Oh,
and
absolutely.
It puts me in a bad... of course. And I always have the odd snack or so. Nothing wrong with that. But every time I go for like a week where I eat clean, I feel so much better.
Oh my God,
when
you
I
feel
drink
amazing.
my water and I have my vitamins, I go out and get sun, I feel like I'm unstoppable.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm at my most productive. And I feel like sometimes it may be hard, but it's worth it in the long run.
Absolutely.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So you initially started that just to sort of see how you would go on a personal level, and then eventually you got into some competitions. Tell me about the competitions.
The competitions. I love competing. Obviously, it is not something that I'm preaching to everyone. It is like, it's amazing. I love it. It's definitely, it's something you do, and it is just like leveling up. You're pushing yourself, you're pushing your body in ways that really, like, it's not, there is always a debate of like whether it's healthy or not. I don't think it's healthy necessarily.
I think the competitiveness is healthy, because you're actually, you're working really hard to achieve something that not many people would be able to do.
No.
So, and it's something that so many people, like, whether or not you look at it from like a natural way or an unnatural way, it's still incredible to see what people are to
Absolutely.
achieve.
And what the body can do is crazy, literally so crazy. But competitions, no, I love them. I do love show day. Like, show day is amazing. Just the vibes going on, getting on stage. I'm such a stage person.
Yeah. Like, you got the tan on as well.
Yeah.
You're jacked. Like, you're just huge.
Yeah.
You're just unstoppable.
Got the tan on, got the makeup, got the heels on, the sparkly bikini.
Unbelievable. Like, I see pictures like that and I just think, holy fuck. Like, growing up, like, I didn't know like the idea of like a jacked body. Like, 'cause I was so skinny. I was 53 kilos in year 12. So when I was 17, I was 53 kilos. And then I look at people, like, because I know a few people that have done bodybuilding competitions. I just look at them and I just think, that's unbelievable. Like,
crazy.
Just hard. It's hard work, and it's just self-confidence as well to go out there and just be a fucking queen or a king for a day on stage. Like, unreal. So,
absolutely.
in your first competition, did you pole or did you finish in a certain position?
Yeah, so I'm definitely a person who does not do anything just for the sake of it. So with cheerleading, with bodybuilding, anything, it's always the goal, obviously, to be the best I can be. But if we're going to say, hey, what did you want to place first? I want to win, or I want to, do the best I can. Absolutely. So the first comp I did in 2023, I did 2 shows. So I did one down in Wollongong, and then I did the New South Wales State Championships.
New South Wales State Championships. That's insane.
Which was sick.
What was it like competing with the other people as well? Were you very much like, oh, these people they're just jacked?
Honestly,
or was it more just you were friends with them, you saw them, you're like,
no,
you appreciated each other?
There's definitely people that you connect with, and I'd say most of the building world, everyone knows the journey. They've done the journey themselves. So you're appreciative of other people and yourself. So everyone's quite kind and quite uplifting.
Of course,
It's not always like that, but I'd say 9 times out of 10.
I'd say it's very much it's very much the fitness industry. It's about appreciating your body, and appreciating others. It's not about like, obviously it's competitive.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, you have a common ground.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
All the same types of people.
You all push yourself.
Exactly.
Push it to the limits. But it's funny because I've talked to a few people, and honestly, like, as much as you try and not think about it, as much as you say, I'm going to go on the stage and do the best I can do, and, you know, who cares what everybody else looks like around me. You are standing there in a line with all of your other competitors, and you're like, oh my God, there's no way. Like, all these girls look amazing.
Yeah.
Like, every single one of them.
Oh, it'd be so hard to put yourself in like a positive mindset. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's so many people out there. Like you can look at your body every day of the week. Like look in the mirror after a good gym, have a good pump. Like I looked in, like I had a great pump the other day.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I was just like, oh, I'd never felt that way before in my life. And you look at, and then you go on like social media, Instagram.
Yeah.
You see dudes like Jeff Nippert, or you see dudes like, what's his name? Sam Sulek.
Oh my God, who just competed.
And
And oh my God, looked amazing.
He's looking lean, isn't he?
Looked
He's looking
amazing.
so lean.
Yeah.
I had a dream the other night. I met Sam Sulek.
Oh my God, sick.
He's a monster.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, I love looking up to these dudes. Like, as one of my favorite YouTubers at the moment, I don't know if you know, Will Tennyson.
I've heard the name, haven't watched any
He's a
of his
wholesome
stuff.
bodybuilder. He's amazing. He's a Canadian guy, very sort of gentle and sweet.
Yeah.
He's jacked, and I love it. And I always like, whenever I'm at home or I want a bit of motivation, I'll watch one of his videos.
Yeah,
So,
nice.
amazing. But yeah, it's going into that competition, you know, you're always going up against people that have worked similar types of, you know, process. They've gone through similar processes like you, so there is common ground. But at the end of the day, you know, you still got up there at the end of the day and you competed.
Yeah.
It's so rewarding. So
It is. Just getting up there is like, hey, I did the hard thing and I made it, and that feeling of just being like so proud of yourself. And honestly, I say it all the time. I'm like, you know, I want to go up and I want to do my best and I want to win. Like when I competed last year, I did really well in 2023 and I was so proud of myself and like the package that I brought to stage. But my goal was, hey, I'm going to go back to New South Wales States and I want to win this time. And I'm going to do everything in my power to at least beat my last package that I brought to stage. But at the same time, it's like just getting up there and doing all of the hard work. When it comes to show day, I'm like, I don't care what I come. Like, I'm just so proud of myself.
Oh, you should be. You should be so proud of like the journey, wherever you started. Like you've been committed. You've been disciplined. Discipline is so important nowadays.
Oh my gosh,
I feel like a lot of people, and I always see it when I see someone starting out in the gym for the first time, regardless of what their body type is. I pat on the back.
Yeah.
I don't go up to them and say,
absolutely.
but I sit there and I admire it. I say, well done to you. Like,
Yeah.
you're going on a journey, and you know, I started that same way. There was a time when I was incredibly overweight. I hated myself.
Yeah,
And
it's
I hated
hard.
I was a binge eater. And then I fell in love with the idea of fitness. I fell in love with going to the gym now. And it's just something I couldn't live without. There's no way. When I get sick, I get depressed because I can't go to the gym.
I mean, it's like I said, I haven't been able to train legs for 3 weeks, and I'm
sucks.
like, oh my God, I'm not doing the hard work.
So obviously our viewers wouldn't be able to see this. You got a little moon boot on.
I have a little moon boot
How did that
on.
happen?
So about 2 weeks ago, Saturday morning training for cheer, and we're about not even like 30 minutes in, and just happened that we'd done the skill. Skill was beautiful, amazing. It's like this 360 up to what we call an extension, so fully extended above your head on one leg, and then to
Is that
come
the one
down.
where they lift you up with?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't know how you have the balance to do that.
It's so counterintuitive because almost you don't want to balance.
No, it's
Yeah.
very like Cirque du Soleil. It very much reminds me of just that the core strength and the balance.
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. But we just came down. So we'd done it. We were coming down. We're doing what you call a pin in cheerleading. And so what happens is they pop you off and then they go to catch there's 3 people under you in this stunt, and one person catches your waist and the other 2 like slowly lower your legs down to the ground. And one of my bases just, I think, missed my leg, and my toe came down first and all my weight went over my foot and then to the side. So
it's nothing worse.
As my physio said, my ATFL is hanging on by a thread.
Oh, how long is the recovery process for that?
Well, that's where it gets a bit different because obviously, as I was saying, goal was worlds.
Yeah.
And when it happened, I've rolled an ankle before, but that was the worst pain I've been in. Like I grabbed my foot and I was like, oh my God, I'm done for. Like that's it.
Brutal.
And like the physical pain was bad, but it was more just like that mental, like, oh my gosh, what have I done? But the recovery time, I should be in a boot for anywhere from like 5 to 6 weeks. But with cheerleading, because I mean, you'd understand it with gymnastics and tumbling. It's not enough to, like if you injured yourself for 5 weeks, you're not going to come back and be at the same level you were when you just started. So we've only got 2 months until we leave for Worlds. So I was like, I can't not train for 6 weeks. Like that's not an option. So we came up with a plan that moon boot whenever I'm not training, and then I can train, but I have to have it taped and I have to wear a brace, and I kind of just go based off of like my pain level.
Yeah.
So
Slow and steady, just, you got to be involved. You got to keep going, but you just got to know your limits.
Yeah.
And I know that feeling, it's the mental battle. I remember when I was like doing my stunts, we were doing high falls from about 2 meters. So essentially just you fall back onto your back.
Yeah.
And I'd done it so many times before. I'd done like stair rolls. I'd done all this crazy stuff. My body had held up pretty well. So I was like, okay, this should be fine. 2 meters up on a ladder, fell back onto a mat, and immediately I knew it. Something cracked in my back. And I just went to my instructor. I just said like, I'm done for. It's like, I'm done. So I went to a physio.
Yeah.
Had many x-rays, had a lot of that stuff. And I asked them, I said, so what are the chances of me coming back and doing stunts full time, becoming a qualified stuntie? And I said, well, if you want to live the rest of your life in a wheelchair, go for it.
Yeah.
If you don't, just give it up.
Yeah.
So I had to give it up that day, and that was a couple of years ago. So it's brutal, but I've moved into something else now, something a lot more rewarding. So I still enjoy my gymnastics. I still enjoy my gym, and I enjoy doing this more than anything else.
I feel like everything happens for a reason, but sometimes it just takes a bit longer.
It does.
To see it, but
it does.
Yeah.
But this was fantastic getting to know you. Honestly, the first segments are always my favorite because you just go into little tangents and you talk. We've been talking for 36 minutes now.
Oh my God, does not feel that way at all.
Flies by.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know if I'm a good host or not, but you
are.
Stroke the ego here. Yeah, that's all, I love it. The next segment is going to be even more fun. Have you played Would You Rather before?
Oh, not in a little while, actually.
You're going to have fun with this one. We got 5 Would You Rathers.
Okay.
It's going to be very interesting. So
let's do it.
Catch you all later for the next segment. See you soon. Hey everyone, welcome back to Chasing the Art of Creativity. We're here with Erika White, and we are into the second segment of the podcast. I call it a staple. I always say this is the staple of Chasing the Art of Creativity. Would you rather? So, you familiar with Would You Rathers?
Yes.
Yeah, so essentially I'm going to give you 2 different questions. Well, it's 2 questions, and you have to choose which one you would prefer.
All right.
So a lot of these are based on around like gymnastics or like cheerleading and gym as well. So are you ready to go?
Amazing. Let's do it.
First, would you rather? Would you rather have massive strength with an average physique or an insanely shredded physique with average strength?
I reckon definitely insanely shredded physique with average strength.
That's what I'm going for right now. Honestly, like there are times when I do struggle a little bit with strength. Like sometimes like I do look good. Like my body's in a very good state at the moment. Like it's very lean.
Yeah.
And I'll try doing 30 kilo dumbbell press.
Yeah.
And I'll just no strength at all. And I'm like, well, would I rather look good and just have no strength?
Yeah.
I totally agree with that as well. I think a lot more people would choose it because you want to be aesthetic. Like obviously people that are strong, people like strong men.
Yes.
They want strength.
Strength. Yeah.
I would like an aesthetic appearance.
Yeah.
That's just who I am.
I feel like that's literally me when I get into like the depths of my prep and I'm like, oh my God, I look sick.
Yeah, like you're
and then
amazing.
I'm like,
you're absolutely shredded.
Exactly. And then I'm like, oh, last week I could shoulder press 9 kilos and this week I'm down to 8. Oh, well.
Oh, it feels like you go backwards, honestly, but it's day by day.
Day by day.
Day by day. Good answer. Second, would you rather? Would you rather hit a new PR every time you lift, but you lose it the next day, or would you rather plateau forever at your current strength?
Oh my gosh.
That's really tough. Even I was looking at this one going,
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know. 'Cause
Can you say it again?
Yeah, so would you rather hit a new PR every time you lift, but
Yeah.
lose it the next day? So you go
Okay.
in, you lift it every time, but you can't do it the next day.
Yeah.
Or would you rather plateau forever at your current strength?
Ooh.
I mean, once again, it's
Okay. Coming from like a PT perspective, maybe like hit a new PR every day.
Yeah.
Only because I feel like that's
you got
the way to go that you would still make
Yeah.
progress.
With digital receipts. You've got it. If you got it on camera, be like, yeah, I've done a PR.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. People don't have to know if you went in the next day and lost it. Who
Yeah,
cares?
that's
Go for
alright.
it. I like that. There you go. It's hard. Oh, man.
And that's a hard
Some of these
question.
are
That's a really
difficult.
hard question.
Oh, these really do. They do make you think a little
Yeah.
bit. So this one's a little bit off topic, but
Okay.
would you rather train on the high bars? You know high bars?
Yeah, like gymnastics high
Yes.
bars. Yeah.
Would you rather train on a high bar with no fear of falling, or never get dizzy while doing tumbling?
Oh.
I know what I would pick any day of the week.
Yeah, so I've tried high bars and like that is hard.
Oh, it's
so
the core strength. It's
Oh my God, yeah.
unbelievable. Wow.
yes, definitely tumbling. While I don't do all that much tumbling,
Yeah.
sometimes I come down from doing multiple spins like in the air, which I'm going to classify as, I guess, sort of
That is
tumbling.
Oh, it is. Absolutely. If you're on this can be like floor trampoline,
Yeah.
anything like that. Cheerleading as well counts.
Yeah. And I'm like, hold on, I need a second before we go again.
You completely lose your
'Cause-
equilibrium. Yeah. Like,
yeah. You know when you like stop tumbling and then the room gets like a little bit darker and then there's like all these white speckles and I'm like,
Oh, it's-
I'm seeing stars.
That's why I would 100% go for the dizzy. I would never get
Yeah.
dizzy because I do tricking as well. I do tumbling. A lot of I did trampoline routines.
Yeah.
Where I would do maybe 16, 17 tricks in a row.
Yeah, trampolining routines
Oh
look
my
hard.
God. It's unbelievable because you'd go like essentially you'd start backflip, Barani, double back, then maybe like 360,
Yeah.
maybe full, like couple fulls.
Yeah.
And after the 10th, you're like, this is fucked. Like,
Yeah.
you're out of it and you have to stop. And there are times where I've had to stop.
Yeah.
So I've been on floor or I've been doing something and I lose all bearings because I'm so out of it. I'm so dizzy from it. So
Yeah.
I'm a flipper myself.
There are-
100%.
There are literally so many funny videos of like I've gone up and I've done something and I've like spun my way down. Everyone else looks normal and I'm just like
Yeah.
just need a second. I'm all good.
Seriously, no, it's just the duality of doing like
Yeah.
flips and being in here. It's so fun though.
It is so
Oh my God,
fun.
I love it.
So fun.
Fourth, would you rather? Would you rather cheer for a team that always wins but has no energy, or a team that rarely wins but has the best spirit?
100%. Okay, 100% the best spirit because
Oh, you're gonna hate me.
it goes so far. Like we've done routines that I feel like have been amazing and the energy has been there and the whole room, like when I tell you because you can't depend on a room to, hype you up. You have to bring that energy and then they'll reciprocate that
Yep.
energy and then it goes and it bounces back and forth. Like going back to when we spoke about the Gold Coast Convention Centre.
Yes. Yeah.
The day one that we competed there, the energy in that room, crazy. Like I thought about it for literally days. I watched the video back.
Wow.
Like maybe
It was
like
real,
at
yeah.
least 3 times a week. And I'm like, you hear everyone and then everyone in my team, just the energy that they brought. It's so
Yeah.
invigorating.
It must be. No, and look, you've given me a lot of perspective there because I was always going to go for like, team that wins.
Yeah.
Always wins. I mean, obviously, but energy, because I'm not a cheerleader. I wouldn't know what it feels like.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to experience that, but I can put myself in your shoes. And regardless of what the result is, regardless of what the team does, like if you've got that spirit, it's on you. Like,
Yeah.
and I growing up, I wanted to play professional rugby league.
Yeah.
I love rugby league. Greatest thing in the world. Like it's my Roman Empire.
Yeah.
And
Great sport.
Great sport.
Great
So,
sport.
Do you have a team?
No, I'm not ask me about cheerleading and I can tell you absolutely every
Yeah,
single thing.
yeah, I know.
When it comes to every other sport, I'm just like, I admire
Biased.
it
Yes.
and I love it, love watching it. I don't
Yeah.
know heaps about rugby league, but I think it's
Cool
a
sport
crazy
regardless.
sport.
It's
Cool
insane.
sport.
I got injured once when I was younger. I just had to stop. But there's
Yeah.
a heavy element of cheerleading and cheering and dancing in rugby league.
Yeah.
And it's the routines that they do. It's sick.
Yeah.
I love it. And there are times when I go to watch my team play and they just having a shocker. But the cheerleaders do a great job. Do a great job of getting the crowd on their
Hyping.
feet. So
Yeah.
you're giving me perspective, and I'm going to change my mind. I'm
There
going to
we
go for a
go.
team that rarely wins but has the best spirit. Because
yeah.
you've given me such a change of heart there, and I
Ooh.
think as a cheerleader, you got to have that mentality. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's not about winning.
Yeah.
The energy.
It's the energy. Bring the
Yeah.
energy and the wins will follow.
Yes, exactly. Great mentality. The last, would you rather? Would you rather train for a CrossFit competition or a gymnastics meet? Now, this is probably, you can look at this from a very biased perspective.
Yeah.
Or you can just put bias aside and just go from, say you're not a cheerleader.
Yeah.
You've never gone that path. Like, you're going down either a path of like CrossFit or gymnastics.
Yeah. Starting like fresh, brand
Something
new.
fresh. What are you going for? I love CrossFit.
Ooh.
I actually do love CrossFit. I did CrossFit because I wanted to get like a really good core strength, and I've started bouldering again.
Yeah.
I love bouldering. Oh man,
Bouldering's hard.
Bouldering's
I've tried it a few
but-
times.
Yeah, but I've gotten a lot more upper body strength now, so I'm able to actually boulder like
Yeah.
quite consistently well. So
Yeah,
it's
nice.
always good, but it's tough.
See, I don't know. There's two parts of me. There's two parts. There's one part that's like, love CrossFit. Very, very cool. It's, again, challenging yourself in a different way compared to gymnastics. And then there's the other part of me that's like, oh, gymnastics, pretty leotards.
It looks sick.
Yeah.
It's cool. You're just like, oh, wow. Like, because you're going for more like the aesthetics or like the physical part of it, because CrossFit kicks your ass.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But the gymnastics or like the cheerleading gymnastics
Yeah.
element, like it's sick the way they do it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man.
It's more of like, CrossFit's like amazing what the body can do. Absolutely. And it's, gaining strength and pushing your physical limits. And then on
It's
the other
flair,
hand,
the flair of gymnastics.
yeah, it's like, wow, that's
elegant.
Not, that's not something that everyone can do. And it's not something, I guess, like CrossFit as well. Obviously not something everyone can do, but definitely I'd say, correct me if you think differently. Maybe this could be controversial.
I'll try.
I'd say easier to learn the movements during CrossFit. Possibly.
100%. Yeah. I keep saying 100%. Look, oh my God, I do it again. I've said 100. I should do a compilation of the amount of times I've said 100% on this podcast. Every time I go into recording, not going to say it, not going to say it. Or I pick myself. I pick up on it. I'm just like,
you
I
agree.
just said it again. Oh my God. And I'm just like, and I don't want to say like 99%. Just doesn't make sense.
No, it's like, have you ever done any group fitness classes? This is going off track again.
Yeah. Oh man, I love it.
I feel like the one thing all of us as trainers say, it'll be like, let's go. Let's go.
No, it's so true.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Diamonds are made under pressure. Like all that sort of stuff. Yeah. No, I think it's like, it's part of the playbook. The handbook of like, so that's why I initially just got it. Yeah, 100%.
100%.
100%. It's so simple.
It is.
There you go. So what are you going for? Are you going for CrossFit or gymnastics?
I'm so torn on this one.
It's tough. So tough.
I'm going to say gymnastics.
I like that. That mentality, and that's not me being biased. Look, my bias aside, I'm probably going gymnastics as well because I've had that experience. I've done it from a very young age.
Yes.
I fell in love with it, and I'm still in love with it to this day. So I like that answer. Those are, as we say on this podcast, if you've seen it, very diplomatic. So thank you for some of those diplomatic answers.
You're very welcome.
It's a good little. We've also got another segment to this. This is the second game.
I love it.
Blind ranking. So have you ever heard of blind ranking?
I actually haven't. I can assume what it is from the name,
Yes.
but I've never played it.
Exactly. So I'm going to give you 5 different options here, and these are all gym related. So they're all exercises at the gym. So what you're going to have to do is rank them 1 to 5, but you're not going to know what the next one is.
Okay.
You got it. You know exactly what's going
All
on.
right, let's do it.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
First one, lateral raises.
love lateral raises. They're going as number 1.
Oh, that's crazy. That's insane.
I used to do a drop set, first prep ever. My coach had me doing 3 sets, 50 lat raises, and it would go.
That would make me sick.
It was crazy. You'd go 10 of a lightweight, 10 of a medium weight, 10 of a heavy, and then you'd go back down.
Well, what's your heavy?
Oh my God, my heavy was like 4 kilos.
I've started because I know it's so hard, but you have to build strength. So I've started doing 12 and a half.
Oh my God, amazing. I'm up to 6 now.
Don't even get me
2 years later.
No. Oh, you don't want to have to do anything over 8 is torture.
Oh, yeah.
You should see me when I'm at the gym doing lateral raises. The guy that like some guy was looking at me the other day and I was just like, I was doing shoulders and I got to like, because I try and do 8 to 12 range.
Yeah.
4 sets. I got to the end and I was red. I was like a beetroot.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking breathe. And I was like, I'm trying to breathe as I was like lifting them up. Oh, so you're putting them 1. So
they're number 1.
That's insane. All right.
I'm biting the bullet. Don't even know what's next.
Do you even know what's next? I like this one. Romanian deadlift. RDLs.
Oh, I love RDLs.
I don't mind an RDL.
I
Even
love
though I don't like leg
RDLs.
day, I don't mind RDLs.
I have a love-hate relationship with them. Like, I do love them. But also sometimes I'm like, I look at my program and I'm like, okay, just done hip thrust,
they can
just
be a little
done
bit
this.
boring, yeah.
Oh, RDLs.
On a leg day, I go for the Bulgarians actually.
Yeah,
Typically,
I
go
honestly, hands down,
mind.
I love Bulgarians.
Yeah.
Love them.
Look, I'm not a leg day guy, but I've recently started doing legs, and I'm telling the RDLs are now a staple of my leg day.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, awesome. I never thought I would. I love leg extension. Sorry, yeah, you have to rank them, don't you? Yeah.
I'll put them as 3. I'm gonna leave some room there.
I like it. Yeah, middle of the road. That's really
hate.
It's very diplomatic. I like it. Next one, bench press.
Okay, you won't catch me bench pressing. I haven't bench pressed. So, okay, as a bikini competitor.
Yes.
I'm talking for a lot of people, but the split will generally work towards what the criteria is. And the criteria for bikini is a nice hourglass shape. So that looks like,
of course,
shoulders and back,
yes,
and then legs.
The chest, not much.
Chest doesn't happen.
No,
so
as a guy, it's my Roman Empire.
Yeah,
bench press is going number 1 for me. Obviously,
I literally don't think I've bench pressed in like over 12 months.
Yeah,
and
one thing I'll say, I never ever bench press without a gym bro.
Yeah,
no chance because I've started going heavy now, like heavier. Because I used to bench 50. I was like, this is easy. And then you start like, okay, well, I want to go 60, 70. So I do 80 now.
Yeah.
I would never, ever do that without a gym bro spotting me and I hate asking people in the gym, hey, man, can you spot me? It's scary. Because like some guy asked me that the other day. He was benching, I think, 110.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, bro, can you spot me? I'm just like,
sometimes
dude, I don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes I spot some of the guys at work and they're like literally benching 160. I'm like, that is triple my body weight. Like, what do you want me to do?
He's like, no, I just need you there. It's the emotional support.
Yeah.
It's like, because you know how someone's like, yeah, I got you. It's all you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, it's definitely not, but thanks.
So you've got lateral raises 1, you've got RDLs 3, bench press 5.
Yeah.
So you're like with 2 to 4 here.
Okay, 2 and 4.
I don't know if you'd actually do this one. This is an interesting one because I have only recently started doing them, and I wouldn't typically say that they're the most effective bicep exercise. Spider curls. Have you done spider curls?
I haven't.
They're the ones, where you lay into an incline bench.
Oh, yes.
Like that.
Yeah. We did them the other day at work. We demoed them for about 2 reps. Probably the most I've done of them in a little while. Probably 4.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I would have probably put them at either 4 or 5.
Do you know what I do like bicep wise? Is like an incline bicep curl. So like put the bench on 45, get a little bit more range of motion. Love those.
Especially when you're going the last.
Yeah.
When you're pushing that, it's like your arms are gone.
Yeah.
It fucks you hard.
It does.
You get such a pump out of it.
Yeah, they're good.
They'd go number 1 for biceps for me.
Yeah.
Either that or I would say maybe hammer curls.
I do like hammer curls.
I love hammer curls.
Yeah.
So there was so many different exercises that I could have put on here, but I could only pick 5 and I wanted to give it a little bit of range.
I like it. It's good.
Yeah. So the next one is legs as well.
Okay.
Finish off with legs, hack squat.
Okay.
Where did you put spider curls? 4?
I did 4.
4, yeah.
So 2. And you know what? I'll agree with that. I actually do like hack squats. I do hack squats in my program currently. Well,
As you do, yeah.
Not currently, but they are in there.
They're in there, yeah.
And I like them. They're a good push. They're hard.
They're bloody difficult.
They're
aren't
difficult,
they?
yeah.
Difficult.
And have you done a pendulum squat?
I have done a
I
pendulum
love
squat.
a pendulum
oh,
squat.
Man, they're something else. Pendulum squat's crazy, but I was so sometimes I like to put my progress on Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would have seen it the other day, but I was doing a hack squat.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
And I put up on the Insta because I don't really do legs. And I put something in there. I must have asked a question. I said, leg experts, I call them. I say, what am I doing wrong? I must have got 7 or 8 different girls just going like, what the fuck are you doing?
Really?
They're one using the machine the wrong way. I was using it the wrong way. And 2, they're like, you're not bending. You're just sitting. You're not using your back at all. I wasn't using my back. And then someone actually did. It's not a PT, but they asked me, they said, I want you to go next time, like really just pretend there's like a rod in your spine and you're going down with it. And you're using your legs, but using them to like really push up, but you're using the core stability to go down and then up.
Yeah.
I did that the next time and I was like, wow, it changed my,
I always think about like
life.
Pressing my belly button into the,
activate your core.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Know it.
I'm going to give you one. The thing I like to do with these blind rankings, I always give a chance. Would you swap one of them around? If you could swap any of them, what would they go?
Okay, so I did lateral raises,
Yep.
hack squats,
Yep.
RDLs, spider curls,
and then bench.
Maybe I would swap. I'd go lateral raises, RDLs, hack squat.
Ooh.
Oh, actually.
RDLs at 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's what I do.
I like it.
And I keep spider curls and
there you go.
bench press.
Fantastic.
I'd rather do.
Happy with those?
Yeah.
Are there any other exercises you wish were on that list that you would have been like, I would have loved to rank them?
Oh.
I would have loved to. I'm a big fan of just the shoulder press.
I love shoulder press. I love a shoulder press.
I love it because I used to have such shit shoulder mobility.
Yeah.
And I used to only be able to lift maybe 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And then this year I've hit 22. So I'm just
amazing.
like, fuck yeah, okay. It's not
so
amazing.
Good.
Not amazing, but
hey.
like, I'm growing. I'm getting
it's
better.
good.
So I'm getting
stronger.
Amazing. Yeah. Are there any other exercises you would have liked to have on there?
I don't think so.
Happy with those?
Yeah, happy with those. That was a good mix.
Yeah. What is your favorite thing to do at the gym? Favorite exercise?
Favorite exercise?
Yeah.
Honestly, I like training legs because I definitely feel like, legs are harder on your central nervous system. You 100% feel like you've worked way harder.
The pump you get from a leg day. I feel sick after a leg day.
Oh my God, there are leg days where I'm like, I'm actually going to throw up.
Yeah. I can't walk the next day, but I started seeing leg veins and I was just like, oh my God.
Oh,
yeah. I'm like calf veins. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
A calf
sick.
vein. Man, it's like fucking seeing a leprechaun. You're just like, I didn't think those existed.
Right?
Yeah.
But I do love back and shoulder days for me. So I honestly think
I don't know why I didn't put it back. I could have put in something like a lat pull down.
Yeah.
Could have put a lat pull down. That would be number 1 for me. I think that's my favorite exercise.
Yeah.
I love them. Or the Smith machine, any Smith machine exercise.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to worry about really carking it.
No.
You don't need to
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, okay, controversial question.
Yeah.
Because someone asked me to spot them on a hack squat the other day. And I was like, that's interesting.
How? Ooh.
Yeah.
Were they using a hack squat machine?
Yeah, hack squat machine.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, that's
weird?
what I thought. I've never asked for a spot. But I mean, no. I was like, I'll 100% stand here. But again, bigger guy, not sure what I can do. Really? So I was just kind of like, okay, well, if he fails at the bottom, I guess I'm just helping push back up.
But it's good that he went to you. He knows. He's like, okay, you probably know that stuff well. He's like, she knows.
Yeah, in a way, I was like, oh, like, cool, thanks.
Yeah. Like someone came up to me at the gym the other day and they were like, I was doing an exercise and they asked me, like, can you show me how to do that? And I was like,
amazing.
Oh, honey, I don't really know what I'm doing either.
You're like, I'm just vibing.
I'm not a PT, man. Like, I can't really help you out, but still it feels good.
Yeah.
Because, you put a lot of effort in. And you have put so much effort in today to coming over here and having a chat about your passions and your journey and your experiences. And I've learned so much about you in under an hour. So
thanks for having
Erika,
me.
You were absolutely fantastic. Now I always end this podcast asking one question. What is the one thing you're going to do, big or small, to change the world?
Oh my gosh, that's a hard one. You make me think.
Everyone has come up with just no pressure. Everyone's come up with some amazing answers.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will. There is no such thing as a right or wrong answer.
I think for me, growing up, I knew, like I said before, my little me manifesting in my diary about going to Worlds and then making that dream a reality. And now I have the chance to coach younger kids in cheerleading. And I think just showing to them, it's like, I don't care if your goal is to do with cheer or if it's to do with something else. A lot of them play multiple sports, but if you want to do it, you can. You 100%. Don't let anyone hold you back. And just being that coach that younger girls and boys as well, like I teach boys too, can look up to, I guess, and
Absolutely.
just like shoot for the sky.
100%. Honestly, brilliant answer. Everyone has come up with a brilliant answer. And to reward you, I always give someone a little gift at the end of the episode.
Oh, bless.
This is a book. So this is a book that I've sort of loved. And it is something that is so important.
Yeah.
This pretty much, it talks about self-healing and
my
things you do to
gosh.
make yourself better. So there are some awesome exercises in this book
I
right here.
love
This is called
that.
The Complete System of Self-Healing. I'd love you to have this.
Oh my gosh,
honestly.
thank
So
you.
read that in your own time. Have
I
a look
am
at some good
excited.
exercises. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
That book was something that helped me so much in recent years. So I'd
Yeah.
love to pass that on to you. And
I'm sure this will be very useful this year.
absolutely, it
Yeah.
will. And I'm grateful for you to pass your wisdom on to not just me, but to everyone else out here. So, Erika, thank you so much.
Thank you for
today. I really
having me.
appreciate it. And thank you so much to everyone that has come and watched my podcast, starting from the early days. I know it's still kind of early days, but still being there and supporting me throughout the whole thing. And we always appreciate any support I can. So thank you everyone for watching today. You can catch us out on the socials. We are on YouTube, TikTok, obviously Instagram, and Apple and Spotify podcasts. So thank you so much to Erika today. And thank you all everyone for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.